Hey everyone, it's another truck ride episode. Just some morning reflections that I wanted to share as I was thinking about preparedness, getting ready this morning and heading off to work. And really three just kind of points. And I think that these would be very helpful for anyone who is new to preparedness or anyone thinking about preparedness. And then it's a great reminder for those of us who have been in preparedness for a while. So here we go. The first one is there's no easy button in preparedness. You know, the world tries to sell you, and you get online, you get on the internet, and you see all these different gadgets and courses and things that just make life so much easier for you, right? And like here's a shortcut that you can take, and here's a shortcut that you can do, and if you pay money, I'll give you the secret for it, and all these different kinds of things. There's just no easy button for it. You've got to put in the work. And really, when you reflect on the things that you've done that have been valuable to you, you've had to really put in the work. Unless you won the lottery, or you just inherited a whole bunch of money and you didn't have to work for it, which is pretty rare nowadays. You have to work for pretty much anything that's valuable and anything that's worth it in life. So there's no easy button. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the planning. You've got to put in the looking at the food storage. And it's like, okay, here you go. I've got to put in the work, and like, what do I have in inventory? What kind of meals can I make? All those different kinds of things. Yeah, you can go buy a 72-hour bug out bucket of food, or you could buy a month's worth of food and put it in a closet somewhere. And a lot of people would say that's kind of the easy button if you just don't want to think about it. But when you do that without any of the other work, you're sorely disappointed. And if you just do that, and then one day you break open that bucket because you're in an emergency, again, you're going to be sorely disappointed. So you need to be able to put in the work of what it is that you need to be prepped for. And that's really important, and a really important key to remember when we talk about preparedness. So there's no real easy button there. You just got to wind up putting in the work. The next thing is preparedness is boring. And so what do I mean about that? Now, I've said this a couple of different times. I think people are like, what do you mean? Preparedness is boring because the thing about it is you have to be consistent. There's some aspect of it is like, yeah, you can do this and be prepared, right? You can buy that month worth of a supply of food and put it in your closet. You can buy that bug out bag online with all the stuff already in it, and you haven't put in any work to actually look at the gear and what you really truly need. And so you can do that and put it away in your closet. But real preparedness is about learning each and every day and applying that and moving towards that better life of being prepared, better prepared. So that doesn't mean that you have to, go live in your bunker and you have to be ready for the zombie apocalypse or anything like that. But true preparedness is about being consistent, looking at your food pantry. What kinds of things have you put into your food pantry? What kinds of things have you taken out? And making sure that you stay up to speed with what is actually there. Looking at your water storage and, having a plan for your water storage, but then checking up on it, right? Checking your health. That's something that a lot of the times we don't talk about in preparedness. I think people are starting to talk about it more. But looking at your health and being consistent with good habits that give you a better, healthy lifestyle, right? So it's the consistency that is there. And yeah, there are sexy things in preparedness that you can do. Like, you can go out and you can do get your bug out bags and everyday care. When you go to social media and you click on the things that, like you go to, for instance, Instagram, and you click on the pictures or the reels that are have a lot of views. It's all the sexy stuff. No one gets a lot of views from saying, hey, today I checked my food pantry and I realized I was low in peanut butter, right? No one gets views from that kind of stuff. They get views from, showing their firearms and showing their new knife and things like that. People don't get views from hey, here's a knife that I've had for 20 years, and I only have one knife and it's served me well. I haven't needed to buy another knife, in all those years. People don't get views from that. So it's the boring stuff that is important. Preparedness is boring, and you just got to stay consistent. It's kind of like when you're on a diet, and eventually, at first you're losing weight and you're good, and then you get to that little plateau, and then you got to continue pushing through, right? I've been there before, where you get to a plateau and you're there for a little bit and you're like, what the heck, do I need to do something different? But you stay with it, you're consistent, and all of a sudden you start losing weight again. So preparedness is boring, and you got to make sure that you're being consistent. And the last thing is preparedness is universal. Now, what do I mean about that? A lot of the times we're reading articles, we're watching YouTube videos, listening to podcasts about all the different things out there, and as far as preparing for this and preparing for that. Most preparedness is universal. So the things that I'm going to need for a hurricane, for the most part, are the same types of things that I'm going to need if I was in a blizzard. And so you got to take that into consideration. And the benefit of that is that if you can plan and you put that planning into effect, getting the basics taken care of will get you through a lot. And I think that's really important. Like when you plan, and that's what I think sometimes people don't like to plan because of oh, that sun is really bright on me there. A lot of people don't like to plan because it's like, oh man, there's a lot of planning to do and a lot of things that I need to consider. But if you get the basics down, you've covered a lot. And then it's just figuring out those tweaks that you need, right? There are going to be some things in a hurricane that I'm going to want that you don't necessarily need in a blizzard. There's going to be some things in a blizzard that you want that I don't necessarily need in a hurricane. But for the most part, a lot of it, and I wish someone would do some kind of a put the percentages down. And I guess that wouldn't really be too hard to kind of figure it out, but put the percentages down of a lot of it, maybe 80% maybe, is going to be the same. Everyone needs the basics. And so I think that is so beneficial. So a couple of preparedness reflections there on our way to work there. Again, just a recap, because there's no easy button for preparedness. You gotta remember that. You gotta put in the work. Preparedness is boring, and what I mean by that is you just got to be consistent. You can't just set it and forget it. And then lastly is preparedness is universal. If you take care of the basics, a lot of the other things, it's easier to focus on the other things that get you up to that 100%. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.